Hey everyone, so today we're going to be learning how to download and install PyCharm, which is an IDE for Python. An IDE is basically just an integrated development environment which allows you to write more complex programs and basically write cleaner code than we would on Jupyter or any other environment. So you want to go to Google first and you want to type in JetBrains PyCharm. And then you want to click on this link down here that just says download PyCharm. And then it'll bring you to this web page, and you want to click on which OS you have, so either Mac, Windows, or Linux. And then you want to download the community version, since that is the free version as opposed to the professional version. And then you just want to hit keep. It'll download pycharm.exe. And then you just don't worry about this email address stuff. You don't really have to do that. Just wait until the download is finished. And then when that is done, just click on it and it should pop up. So now this screen should pop up where it says welcome to PyCharm Community Edition Setup. You just basically just want to hit next and keep going. I have multiple versions installed, so this won't come up for you. But you're just going to want to hit next. It's going to ask you where you want to save it. Make sure you save it somewhere that you will remember it. Generally, the default is fine. Then it's going to ask you if you want to download the 32-bit or 64-bit version. You generally want to pick the 64-bit version if you have a newer computer. If you have a really old computer, you might have a 32-bit computer. If you want to check to be sure, just look it up on Google. It's pretty easy to figure out. Just pick which one you want and then press next. And then you just want to hit install, and it should install everything. Now that we have everything downloaded, you just want to hit the PyCharm logo, and it'll start the program, and it'll show up this little screen. It just means it's loading. And then it'll give you a list of things to do. If you want, you probably want to just create new project to test out and see how it works. And now it's going to ask you for a location where you want to save the file, the .py file, which is just a Python file. And then it's going to ask you which interpreter you want to use. Now this is kind of important. If you have multiple versions installed, it'll show up here as like I do. So I have 3.6.1, 0.2, and 0.4.2. Generally just pick the one that is the most updated one. And then hit create. Then this window should show up. Just get rid of any of those. So now if you hit new project, file new project, sorry, you'll want to create a new project. It'll show you the location and the interpreter again. You just want to hit create, and it'll open a new in the current window. If you wanted to test out any sort of Python file, you want to go to File, New, Python file, and you can name it anything. So we'll just name this Test, and then hit Enter, and this window will show up. And basically, this is just where you're going to be writing your code. So let's say we wanted to do something very simple, like print hello world. If we were to do this, now we just right click on inside the window, the file window, and then you're going to want to hit this button over here which says run the file name. It'll have in quotes. And then when you do that, the console should pop up in this window over here, and then it'll show you what the output is. So this is called the console, and this is where everything will appear for your output. And if you get stuck in an infinite loop or some sort of looping or it's just not working, you can always hit the stop button, which will completely stop the execution of the file. And if you want to run it again, just hit this little green button over here. So now if you wanted to find a specific Python file that's in your computer and run that, you would just go File, Open, and it's going to pop up with all the different files on your computer, and you would just want to locate to that exact file and then press OK, and it'll open up that file. So now we're going to learn how to install other packages into Python, and other packages might include like pandas and NumPy, for example. They're basically just modules that will help you do certain things like make data frames and perform certain calculations. So if we go into File and then we go to Settings, which is right here, then we want to go into our project, which is this, it says Untitled because I didn't name it anything. But we just go under Project, and then it goes into Project Interpreter. And then this whole list will pop up. Mine might be a little bit larger because I just have more. But you want to click this little green plus in the top right. And then when you click on that, it'll allow you to add a module or add a package. Then you want to type in the name of the package that you want. So for example, let's say you want pandas on your installed on your Python interpreter. Then you would just type in pandas, and it'll come up right here, and you can just press install package. So I already have it installed, so it's probably not going to do much for me, but you would just press this button right here that says install package, and then it should be installed. And then when you go into the program, you would want to write import pandas, and it'll import it.